We have Lawrence with us, our expert on marriage. So, Lawrence, tell us a little bit about marriage.
Well, I get lots of common questions, so let's go take a look at them.
I'm less attracted to her, but I love her. Is she the right one?
Am I convincing myself I still love him? I don't know what I want, but I love him. I don't know what to do anymore.
Lawrence, can you answer any of these questions that our listeners have?
Well, the second question I receive a lot, like, are you convincing yourself you do love him? Well, I believe you can't just ask yourself this question. You have to ask yourself, how do you feel about them when your heart is completely open? When there are no outside forces acting on you, so it's an unbiased opinion. Like, you have to apply a whole list of other questions. Do you like him? Do you enjoy his company? Do you like to talk to him? Etc., etc.
So you believe that you shouldn't ask yourself if you love your significant other?
Not exactly. Ask yourself just a series of questions to find out if you love him. After asking yourself these questions, then you can ask yourself if you love him.
Interesting theory. We know you gave this advice to people, and let's take a look on how their lives turned out.
Let's go take a look.
Okay, so Lawrence is a lifesaver, okay? He saved me and John's relationship. He did. And without his advice, I don't know where I'd be, okay? He's everything for me and John right now. He pushed us through. He pushed us through our struggles, and we found God. We found God. And God is everything for a marriage, and we realize that now. Me and John. I wish he was here right now. He's my life. He's my love. So I took Lawrence's advice, and it worked out pretty well.
You'd say I'm sorry,
But it really hurts to let someone know that you really care about. I told Jethro we couldn't be together anymore, and he looked at me and said, "Why, Jennifer? Why?" I was like, "I don't love you like that. I don't love you in that way." But I know it was the right decision because I didn't love him. I didn't love him.
How are you? Hi, how are you? Alright, so, I know you're a busy man, so thank you for having me. No problem. So, I just have a question for you. Like, in the church's view, how does one go about choosing a spouse?
Well, make sure they love God more than they love you.
Interesting.
If you love your spouse more than God, or vice versa, you can save your relationship with God. God designed man and woman to be strongly attracted to each other. That is God's design. As a side comment, we should add that God considers homosexual attraction to be a sin. That is a spiritual problem. God designed man and woman to be both emotionally, sexually, and intellectually attracted to each other. Sometimes it can be easy to confuse this kind of attraction with a love for God. So what does it mean to love God? God tells us that our love for others demonstrates that we love Him. Our love for others is a mark of our love for God. In fact, if we do not love others, we do not love God. Take a look at John chapter 4, verse 7, 8, 11, and 20. Verse 20 summarizes it all. If someone says, "I love God," and hates his brother, he is a liar. For the one who does not love his brother, whom he has seen, cannot love God, whom he has not seen. The first two greatest commandments are love God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and then love your neighbor as yourself. These two go hand in hand, but God must come first before our mother, children, wife, husband, etc.
Wow, that is a deep answer for just a question that people barely take into account when choosing a spouse.
Well, look at it this way. If both you and your spouse love God more than each other, He can help you through everything if you both go to Him through prayer.
Alright, so thank you for having me. I'll try to come back and visit.
It was a pleasure having you. Lawrence!
Second time meeting Father.
Father Donahue, how are you? I'm good. How about you yourself? I'm doing good. Take a seat. Thank you.
So how's Villanova?
It was good. It was good. It was a lovely experience.
Okay. So as we talked before, I've been traveling the U.S., asking people, how do they choose a spouse for marriage? What are your views?
I agree with the church on this issue. It is based off of three things: the qualities of a true friendship, the qualities of a good spouse, and the importance of good advice and prayer. Why should we discuss the qualities of true friendship when speaking of the choice of a spouse? The answer should be obvious. Your spouse is going to be your companion, not just for a few moments, not just for a few hours a day as a workmate or schoolmate, but as long as both of you will be alive. It is the closest friendship that exists, or it should be.
That is interesting. So could you tell us the good qualities of a good friendship?
First of all, to be true friendship, the relationship must be morally helpful to both parties. Negatively speaking, this means that any friendship that leads to sin, near occasions of sin, a lowering of standards, a neglect of one's duties, especially religious duties, is to be avoided. If hanging around with Mike generally means that you have to go to confession the next day, then Mike is no friend. Of course, that brings it to the lowest point on the scale. On the positive side, a friend should make you better by his good example, his wholesome conversations, the interest he has in you, his ability to help you avoid vice and virtue.
So, I'm pretty sure you messed up on the last line, but do you mean achieve virtue?
Yes, achieve virtue. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I just noticed that. So, could you go on and explain the second part of...
The second point may sound like a contract, but this is straightforward and is the basis of most of what we recognize as friendship. You and your friend have common taste, common interest, common likes and dislikes. Whether it be the same spiritual, artistic, intellectual, technical, or athletic pursuits. The two of you have some common areas of agreement that make your time together pleasurable. This does not mean that you must agree on everything, but it means that you will agree on certain essentials, while the relatively few areas of disagreement provide stimulates to good conversation, but a bitter parting of the ways. In fact, if there is too much agreement, then there will be little basis for self-sacrifice and mutual charity. There should be some areas of charitable disagreement.
So, you're saying that opposites don't necessarily attract?
Exactly. You don't want someone who agrees with everything you have to say, and you don't want someone who agrees with nothing you think or believe.
Now, this last topic may seem difficult for some of our viewers, to comprehend. Could you explain this?
Of course. I think we all know what a fair weather friend is. This is someone who is wonderful to be with when the going is good, but as soon as a problem arises, he is now nowhere to be found. Friendship is a kind of love, and we all know that love is proved by deeds. If you love me, keep my commandments. That's from John chapter 15, verse 10.
I'm very well aware of that, yes.
Our Lord said, and also, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. That is from Matthew chapter 16, verse 24.
Interesting.
If any friend is not willing to sacrifice things for his friendship, he is selfish. Selfishness is a barrier to true friendship, and it is a cause of disaster in marriage.
Well, you have really, truly opened my eyes today, and I just want to say thank you again. Thank you again
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you.
All right, let me walk you out.
Thank you.
Wow, Lawrence, that was some great stuff you had today. Wish we had more time, but we have to wrap it up here today. So we'll catch you all next week on marriage. My name is Robert Matson.
Hello, Robert. It's a pleasure to meet you. So I just have a question for you. What do you think goes into choosing a good spouse?
You know, a spouse is everything in life. You know, I say, if you can picture yourself with that person for the rest of your life, then that's when you know it's the one, you know? You have to love that person just as you love God. And once you can do that, you're set. You're set for life with that person.
All right, thank you, Rob. It's been a pleasure meeting you, and
Pleasure with you.
hope you have a wonderful day, all right?
Beautiful day.
God bless you.
We are here live with Asa Guest. Asa, question here. So what do you think goes into having a good spouse?
Well, I just think you have to make sure you and your potential spouse are emotionally ready. You know, because if you're not emotionally ready, or they're not emotionally ready, it's not going to work because one of you guys is unstable. You know, I just believe if they're sad or you're sad after you fail every little time, every little thing, if you're sad over that, you guys aren't emotionally ready. You have to push through. And you have to look at the bigger picture. Don't just look at lust or just, oh, I have a crush on this person. You have to go deeper than that. You have to go, as said in our script, you have to base it off the question, do I love them? Do you enjoy spending time with them? Do you enjoy their company? Can you talk to them about anything? How do you feel with them when you have an open heart? So, you know, that's what I think goes into choosing a good spouse.
Pleasure having you, Asa.
Thank you for having me.
Beautiful day we're having here.
Amen.
I want you.